Okay, this video is all about getting you oriented to the wealth of information and resources online. Noonday's home office team does an amazing job of giving us a lot of just information and tools that are going to support your business. So, really, the center of it all is your Ambassador Studio that you've likely already logged into, noondayambassador.com. You probably just want to bookmark that, you'll be there all the time. Um, and so in addition to what you may have already seen of your profile section where you put in your bio and things that will show on your customer facing site, um, when you first log in, you've got your dashboard that has some key information in the center. And then you have these menus, and this will look different on your phone, but you'll find these menus just the same. Down the left side, we've got our dashboard where we are now. Trunk shows is where you will book your trunk shows, and you will enter orders associated to shows. You can view information about your shows. Orders is your orders, pretty self-explanatory. You can look up customers. For instance, you can look up a customer and then view all of her orders. My performance will go month by month and help you to see things like your sales or your recruiting month to month. My team will show your team, anyone that you are coaching. Career path is also along the lines of your performance. So it's helping you to see the coaching career path and how you're doing as you try to achieve different coaching levels in a given month. The training and events section, I do want to zoom in on a little bit. This is super helpful because there's always a lot going on as far as different sales that are happening, different communications from home office, special product launches we have, different video trainings or training programs that you might want to know about. So home office keeps this updated with those key dates. And then My Trip is where you can track how you're doing as far as earning an ambassador trip for the following calendar year. The marketing section, this is huge. We get pointed here all the time for different things. It's called the Marketing Matrix. And it has all of your marketing tools that you would want, like social media shareables or flyers to have out at your trunk shows. Also tools just for you, like if you want to download the Hostess coaching checklist or your runway guide. There are some videos, there are just all kinds of different things here. And so this is a good place to explore, but honestly, most of the time, I don't go into marketing from here. Like if you click on any of these, you'll see that it actually takes you to this website called Swivel. That's where all this material is housed. So I just bookmark the Swivel website so that I can very easily go in anytime. And from here, I can see all these different sections and find whatever marketing assets or internal tools I am looking for. So this is really just document storage. And as you can see, they'll have things that are like size for an Instagram story versus like more of a square. They'll have PDFs for printing, things like that. So you give us all of the kind of promotional materials that we will need in our business. Back to the studio, you've got the Help Center. This is another place that I go to a lot. And let's look at some of the things here. Promoted articles, this will be some kind of recent things that are going on. And then down here we have all these buttons for different assets. So let's see, there's a section for studio tutorials. You might want to check that out because that will tell you some of the nuts and bolts of how to do certain things in your studio, like how to book a trunk show, for instance, or how to book another show from a show so that that booking hostess will get a bonus half off item. So this covers some of that information. There's also the order and trunk show FAQs. That could be really helpful to you as a new ambassador to just see kind of the nuts and bolts of how trunk shows work. Another great section in here is the inventory updates and product care. I'm going to link click on there. So back order and low inventory list. This is a good one to actually follow. What you can do is on any article in the Help Center, you can click follow, and then you'll get an email notification anytime it's updated. I follow this list because especially as I'm filming this now during COVID-19, sometimes the item will go on back order because our home office team can't always anticipate demand, or there could be a delay outside of the artisan's control. So anytime something's on back order, they will tell us about it. They'll have like an expected back in stock date. And they also tell us if something is on low inventory, where we're running low on it and we think it's going to go either back order, or if it's phasing out, it will be, sold out in the near future, so that we can kind of keep our eye on those things. You'll see in a later checklist I'll provide for you that one thing I do before a trunk show is I'll just kind of double check the back order list. Of course, I don't want to market something that's sold out, or even if it's back ordered, maybe I'll choose to feature something else. Because if it's back ordered, a customer can still place the order all the same, but that particular item will come in a later shipment. And so it's just nice to kind of focus on things that are currently in stock and that she'll be able to get right away. So you can see all these updates are in here, and then there's also just a spreadsheet at the bottom showing all of that information. Along similar lines, there's the sold out and discontinued list by date, so that you can always see things that are sold out. And then there's a Q&A video about product inventory and how that works, because back in the studio, if I go back to the dashboard, there's a check inventory section here, and it will show you inventory numbers. So if you want to kind of get in the weeds on what those numbers mean, that video can help you. But I won't go down that rabbit trail right now. Just know that that section about the inventory updates is a very helpful one to know in the Help Center. There's also the Learning Center, which you probably already know because this is where you did your runway training. And then there are all these other great courses in here. I'm going to reference some of them in the coming weeks as part of this booster series, because beyond runway, that's kind of the 101 level, there are some slightly more advanced topics that I will want to point you to either do during this booster time or in the near future. So that's where those are housed. And then there's a home office team section where you can get to know members of our home office. And then if we go back over here to the right, this is Create a Trunk Show, which you can also get to from the Trunk Show section on the left. Check inventory we talked about. Business tool order, this is where you'll order things like more catalogs, which we call lookbooks, or more order forms, logo pens. They'll sometimes have, fun kind of branded items in there. If you want more hostess brochures or opportunity brochures, the business tool section is where you will get that. Product credit order. So over time, as part of our comp plan, you can earn product credit as well as business tool credit. Those are going to show up here. This will show you where you're currently tracking as far as your credits. And then if you want to apply those toward an order, you can do that any time of the year. And that product credit that you've accumulated will count toward the retail price of a sample. And this is intended for your samples, not for like personal use, to increase your sample selection at your shows. Bundle order, we're not doing this current season. I don't know the future of that. We'll cross that bridge if we get there, but a discount order means shopping at things at half off, which you can do right now during runway, but that's not your only window. So twice a year when we are introduced to a new line in advance of it coming out, so usually around July in advance of an August launch, and then again January in advance of a February launch, the entire ambassador community will get information about the upcoming launch. we'll know, okay, which pieces are phasing out, which ones are going to carry over, and what are the brand new pieces that we're all pumped about. And we all will have a chance to shop things half off. That includes things that are carrying over. You know, maybe, oh, I didn't get that bag last season. It's still in the catalog. I'll get it now, as well as ordering brand new pieces at half off. And so that's a mistake I made in my runway. I thought, oh, this is my only window to get things half off, and didn't realize that like 2 months later, I was going to have another chance. So this is a section where you will do those half off orders of samples. And then you can view the details about your commissions balance and payouts. And that does it. So hopefully that helps you feel a little more oriented to what we have to offer you in these sections.